What you doing? Where you at? What you doing? Where you at? Well. Hello and welcome to another fabulous episode of the Pantry Party Show with your host at DJ Blattner. I am pumped to be here today with a guest that's coming on who is an all-star. Bottom line is an all-star. I was looking for a shirt with a star on it to try and be like, I have an all-star. She works with the Food Network. She writes 1 million books a day. I have no idea how she does it. And I have invited her specifically because I am obsessed with this new book title that she has, is The Best Rotisserie Chicken Cookbook. Her name is Toby Amador, and that's her handle as well, at Toby Amador. And she is coming in right now. She's coming in hot. Let's see and invite her in. Oh, Toby, I can't wait to talk to you. Girlfriend, superstar. What's up?
Hi.
Nice to see you. I don't know if you got a little snippet of your intro, but it was.
I did. I had this shirt with stars on for you.
Seriously though, I was like, I know I have somewhere like a hoodie or something. Anyway, I did wear my pom-poms for you and washed my hair, so there you go.
I took a shower for you and I'm wearing my diamonds, but that's about it.
I love you. Hey, I'm serious in the intro. You write books like every day. You write a book.
I'm working on 2 right now.
Seriously, how many books do you have? How many books do you have?
I have 5 out. The rotisserie chicken is coming, but it keeps getting pushed because of COVID. So I was like so bummed, but there's some sample recipes on my website. And then I'm writing 2 more, one more with the American Diabetes Association and another one with the same publishers as the rotisserie chicken, and everything like super easy, helpful cooking with stuff that's easy to find. So that's the key.
Okay. So let's just back up. So you have you have 5 books currently out.
I'm going to take you to my book pile.
Okay. Listen, this is what I got. 5 books currently out. 1 coming out, which is what I really want to talk about.
Pinata.
And 2 more coming out. Is that correct, Toby?
Yes. That's my first one.
Yeah, I remember that guy. Greek Yogurt Kitchen.
That's 1. What was 2? I don't have it here. No, but this was number 3. 5 ingredient cookbook.
5 ingredient healthy cookbook.
Oh yeah, here, the healthy meal prep cookbook. That was number 2.
Oh, that was number 2. I feel like that just came out. Oh, that's such a good one. That was hot. Hot.
Yeah, this one's made over 100,000 copies sold of this one.
Yeah, so, that's amazing.
And then this, the third one. This one made actually Wall Street Journal bestseller.
Okay, so those are 3.
Hold on, I got more.
Where's your 4?
Smart Meal Prep. So we did like a prequel to the meal prep where it's like a 101, which is really nice because then there's a lot of meal prep recipes.
Wait, what's the difference between that first meal prep and the second meal prep?
So the Smart Meal Prep for beginners is really 101. It's like I give 5 steps on like how to meal prep, which is really fun. So if you really have no clue or starting, in the beginning, and basically I say, do you ever go into like Instagram and see those like super amazing meal preppers with like 30? You don't have to do that.
I like it. So taking it down a notch. I love that. Right. What's number 5?
This just came out last month. So this is with the American Diabetes Association.
Wow.
So it's Create Your Plate Diabetes Cookbook. And this is awesome. So it applies for someone who doesn't have diabetes too. It's just how to set up your plate without counting calories and basically have nice, healthy, balanced meals.
I love it. Create Your Plate is fabulous. So those are the 5 on the market right now. I think amazing, right? You have 1 coming, which is The Best
Rotisserie Chicken
Cookbook.
Okay. Yep.
And then you're working on 2 right now as well.
Yeah, that's why my pantry's crazy.
Oh my gosh. So I realized, this is an honest question. Did you know that you were going to be this like crazy book generator? Like, did you know that?
I didn't, but I know after I wrote the Greek Yogurt Kitchen, I drove my agent bonkers. with like 1,000 ideas. I'm like, what about this? What about, and I see the ideas coming out now. It's really funny. So finally she's like, okay. And we got a deal, and it turned out to be a 3-book deal. So it was like one after the other. And she's like, okay. And almost that was my proving, like, I can do this. I did 3 books in 1 year.
Wow. And
yeah, while I was moving.
That was the meal prep one, was the 3 books in 1 year?
Yeah, the 2 meal prep and the 5 ingredient in between. And then from there, she was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, you know how to do this. And then I felt very comfortable. It was just something I'm good at.
I mean, obviously you're good at it. There was a great question that I know a guest that's going to be on the Pantry show later this week. Nicole Pearl, Beauty Girl, says that Creative Plate diabetes would be good for kids too.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because it's basically it's a version of my plate almost, but for people with diabetes, just so they can control their blood sugar better. But it can apply for, you can do it with kids, you could do it with adults, you could do it with anyone who just doesn't, you know, they don't want to count the calories, or, you know, half your plate is vegetables, which it should be, because 1 in 10 Americans don't get their vegetables. A quarter, you know, your starches could be whole grains, or, you know, potatoes or sweet potatoes, and a quarter protein. And then of course you have your dairy, either to drink it or to put it, you know, sprinkle it on top, or however you want to do it. Yeah. And so really easy peasy. And then fruit, you know, also you have there, I have that for dessert.
Love it. Now, so here's a question that I would like to know. Like, what is a typical day like for somebody who generates so many different recipes? I mean, how many, when you count up all of those recipes in those books, where are you at? Thousands?
I'm at a lot. It's about 100 to 150 recipes per book. So you could do the math. And then I'm doing one now with 100 recipes. So that's what I've been doing actually.
Okay. So
that's what I've been doing this morning, is like, I have a method to my madness.
Yeah. Tell me, what is a typical day in a recipe creator, book generator like you?
So I woke up and took a shower so I could be pretty for you. And then and then I did feed my kids, and I went right to my computer. I clean out my emails because I hate being behind in emails, and then I go right to, like, I have a spreadsheet. I have each chapter and each recipe in the chapter numbered. They have each files, and then I go and I, you know, and then I actually have my ideas already on my spreadsheet, and I go one by one and test. And now that I can't go out so often, like usually I'll test like a chapter. I did 25 recipes last week, and I went out to shop for them all at once.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And when you say you, I mean, you must have a team behind you. Is it really you doing all this?
Yeah, a lot of it. I do work with an assistant, and I had an intern, thank goodness, for this one. But I test every single recipe. You know, I did have help this time to do like second testing for them. So, but I still have to test everything, write it up, right? The one I'm actually writing now. So not only is it like in cups, like American, you know, metric, I'm also on the metric system. So I have to convert everything.
Oh my gosh. Well, so let me just tell you, you've got a lot of fans here. We've got Liz Weiss saying, 2 of my favorite dietitians here. We've got a bunch of dietitians hopping on. What we're doing right now is we're talking to Toby about what it's like to create so many cookbooks. Again, she has 5 on the market. She has 1 coming out, and she's working on 2 right now. So she is just like this mad creator of all of these recipes. And we're trying to find out like her method to her madness. And so you sit down somewhere and you do a spreadsheet of all your ideas for a book.
So I have all this, right. So I do a spreadsheet of every single recipe. And then after that, I go chapter by chapter, and I first write it out. Like, here's some papers, and can you see? Yeah, you can kind of see. You can kind of see, like, on top, I have like a code for it. And then I have my pile for my next chapter is here. And then I'll go, when I have enough, I'll go to the supermarket and I'll make myself a shopping list, also see what I have in my pantry. And then once I do that, I'll start testing, and it's tiring to test. So I try to like do the stuff that's going to spoil first, and then kind of take it from there.
Oh, I love it. Now, of course, this begs the question. I mean, this is the hot question that has been burning on my mind, right? How in the world do you get your inspiration and creativity for so many recipes? If you're going to do a spreadsheet where you're like, okay, I've got 100 recipes I need for this book, do you just sit down and do 100 at once, or do they come at you at the shower, or like where are they coming from?
Well, it's a little bit easier than that because remember, you're dividing it into what a cookbook's not just like, hi, 100 recipes. So I have breakfast and smoothies, and it depends. Do I want snacks? Do I want desserts? And so then I'll designate a certain number. And then over there, like, people like, you need to put comfort food in every single cookbook, right? So you need comfort food. So I will, put in whatever comfort food I want in that book, maybe that I hadn't done in the next book, where I'll do a different spin on it or a different way of cooking on it or a different flavor on it. And then I try to come up with different flavor combinations that are just really easy. I'm not into trying to find ingredients on the internet because they're so, why? Like, let me tell you, I can find every single ingredient during this pandemic at 2 supermarkets. I go to my Stop and Shop, and then if I have to, because Whole Foods has really good produce, I'll go get it there, and herbs they have over there. That's it. And it's right next to my house. I go right after. They have an hour for the older adults, and then I'm in there.
Well, I mean, this is why your books do so well, is not only are they timely, right, but they're actually easy to do. So I feel like that's why, especially like those meal prep books. I remember when those came out, I was like, girl, these are genius. But I have to say, I have been bit enamored, just like cannot wait to hear about this, the best.
The rotisserie one. Oh my gosh, we had such a good, the joke in my family is, because it's 100 recipes there, we were throwing up, like we were like coughing up chicken like feathers by the time we were done, because my kids and I, we loved it. So we were just eating everything. Like, I have on my website like a mac and cheese, I have a salad like with beans and like some greens and some chicken. So I did even hash browns. I have, like your egg hash in the morning. So you can put chicken in there too. So I have like the most fun recipes. I used to go to Costco because, if you don't know this, they actually raise their own chickens. They have farmers that raise their own chickens, and then they have their own rotisserie area. Yeah, they have a huge business with the rotisserie chicken. So they grow their chickens a little bit longer. They're broilers, which are your rotisserie chicken, a couple weeks longer. So you actually get more meat off of them. I measured like how much shredded like chicken you would get. So you get like 7 cups as opposed to the usual like 3.5 to 4.5 cups on like most other places. I didn't check like other stores like Costco, but that's, when I check my own. So I would buy like 5 or 6 birds at once. I thought I was
wow.
nuts.
So how many recipes are in the best rotisserie chicken cookbook?
100.
Okay, so there's 100. Does every single one has rotisserie chicken in it?
Almost, because I do like some sauces, because some people like to dip. So I did a couple sauces, and I did like 8. I think I did like 8 sides. I know.
I'm a dipper. Please, I'm a dipper. If there's like something that is like a dip, I'm like, I'm in. I'm totally in. Oh, that is so cool. Now, why I was like, Toby, can we talk about that? And you're like, oh, it's not out yet. But you do your website, which is what again?
TobyAmadorNutrition.com. Everything's just with my name. Very easy.
Perfect. And so you said there are some sample recipes up on your site from the book that's not quite out yet.
Yep. I have about like, I think 5 or 6 or 7 even are out on my website, and you can see how simple. And because you're using the rotisserie chicken, number 1, you don't have to use raw meat. Number 2, you skip this, like some people just don't like to handle it, or just you skip the cooking step of that raw meat because it's already cooked. So you save yourself it. Sometimes, 5-10 minutes, or for a meatloaf, you're saving yourself like 20-30 minutes.
I have a question. So I have probably only purchased, I don't even know, maybe 5 rotisserie chickens in my life. And every time I give them to my husband, Chris, I'm like, Chris, I don't know how to deal with this thing.
Oh,
do
no.
you have in your book or on your website how to
I have
deal
it in
with
my
it?
book. Yeah, I have it in my book because, like, I don't eat the skin. I'm not a skin person. Just that's where all the saturated fat is. I don't care in terms of the white and dark meat. It's so small, and it's so negligible. It's totally fine, and you deserve a little of that dark meat. It's really delicious. So anyway, I'll take the skin off, but I always do the breast first, because that's where you're going to find most of the meat. You just have to be careful. There are some small bones that are, in different areas. And if you have kids or older adults for choking, just be careful with that. You want to make sure, because one time I think I had someone do it for me. Like I had my sitter do it for me, and she didn't take out one of the bones, and my son after that was like, I'm not eating it because of the bones. So you don't want that to happen.
So do not have that happen. So,
Yeah.
okay, that's, of course it's in your book. Why did I even ask? I know that it's in there. It's amazing, Toby. So I really wanted you on the Pantry Party show because I think that people, even if they don't have a rotisserie chicken in their house, they have a freezer of chicken or they have chicken around. And I am personally so bored. I could use like some inspiration. So, do you have like words of wisdom for people who may have chicken in their house and where the heck to start to have some creativity with it?
Well, that's where you start to like peruse good websites. Like I remember, I have a Rush. So I'm from Russia. My family's from Russia, and we have a plov. A plov is like rice dishes, and I have a chicken plov. It's not with rotisserie, just with chicken, but it uses carrots, shredded carrots, and onions, and really simple. And that's just a different way to prepare it. And it's, again, on my website, really easy to do. And you just need to find these recipes with different ways to do it. And I also like to repurpose it always in quesadillas. I don't know about you, but I'm like a quesadilla person.
This is it. So I always like to have like one signature move, one like recipe of like, hey, let's all try and figure out what you have in your house to make this. This has got to be yours. Like this idea of do it, whatever you have that's a chicken leftover, make it a quesadilla.
Oh my gosh, I'm like the biggest quesadilla person there is, because then you take cheese, it sticks everything together. You can take a hot pepper cheese or just like mozzarella cheese, and then you stick whatever else you want in there, mushrooms, spinach. Like I've even done like chili in my quesadilla.
Okay, so. Now I know this is, again, I have written books and recipes, but here's what I will tell you. I do feel like I need a little coddling, hand-holding of like method, right? So like I have a method of doing quesadillas, which I don't feel like is the easiest way. How do you do your quesadillas?
I've done.
Oh, and Once Upon a Pumpkin is chiming in and saying, love quesadillas so much, yum. So we're going to get tips about quesadillas from Recipe Master right now. So
so if you don't want to flip them because the stuff falls out, which is what I usually flip them, I'm a flipper, I like to do that, I'll bake them. Yes. And they come out nice and crunchy, and then you don't have to worry about the flippage. That's if you have like a lot of stuff in it. But if you have like a chili with some cheese on it, usually I don't, and you don't want to overfill them because that's what's going to fall out. Also, you can also do just half a tortilla, and so then you just fold it over. Those are my three methods. You can either bake it whole, you can either aim for flipping it without being messy, just don't overstuff it, or you could just put it on half and fold it over, and then that's easy to flip over.
Quesadilla 3 ways. I'm with you. I think if I'm making a lot, I do it like on a sheet pan, and I put toppings and fillings on both sides, and then when they come out, I smash them together, but it's a disaster.
Oh, no, I like with the cheese, I put cheese on both sides, and then I close them, and then everything's super crunchy. It's really good.
That's what you need to do. So if you were going to do it in the oven, you would do ingredients on both sides, or no?
No, I will make the entire quesadilla and bake it.
So what does that mean? So you have a tortilla.
So I have my tortilla, I'll put everything on it, and make sure there's cheese on both sides, because that's what's sticking everything together. And then I top it with another tortilla.
Oh, okay. So it's like a sandwich.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. So you'll do that. I think that's good if you're making a lot, like you have a family to feed or whatever. If I'm making like a quickie one for lunch, I will do it, like you said, in a skillet where it's just like one tortilla, and I put the filling on, and then I just fold it over, and I flip it like that once it's folded over, like just one.
Yeah.
One for mama. Do you think that it's super creepy that I call myself mama?
Not at all.
I feel like that is.
You want a kid? I got a couple for you. I got a couple kids for you. If you want. They're all teenagers now.
That's the thing, is I'm calling myself mama. Although I'm a stepmama, I will say I just go around thinking, hey, mama this. I don't know. I try not to do it in public, Toby, just FYI. So I think that is actually, how do you like that as being the Pantry Party tip from you today, is the idea of how to be creative with chicken. Do whatever recipe you want, but make sure you use leftovers in a quesadilla.
There you go. I love that tip.
Or, I mean, what else?
Or
is there anything else you would rather us do for homework?
I'm obsessed with pizza. I don't know why. I'll use the quesadilla to make a pizza. My boyfriend did it for me the other day. On his pizza, he put our leftover rotisserie because I was testing, so I had some leftover rotisserie, and then he put guac on it too afterwards.
Huh.
He
Well,
just
if you had to vote, if I had to push you, quesadilla or pizza, what would you pick? I mean, I know it.
Pizza. I love my pizza, and it has to have like jarred tomato sauce, so good tomato sauce, and then cheese, and then just tons of like I'm a veggie person, so it has to have olives and like veggies on it.
I like it. So maybe you get both things. If somebody says, "What was this episode?" This is episode 21. What was episode 21 with Toby all about? It was that she generates crazy recipes, and in the end of the day, try and make quesadillas and pizzas out of everything.
Yep. I call it creative reuse. Creative reuse.
Creative reuse.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, though, is like you said, when you're going, because I said, what do people do with chicken? We're so bored. You will just hop on the internet and start Googling. I mean, do you have a method to how you Google recipe ideas?
Well, sometimes I look at like, it depends what mood I'm in. If I want fruity, because I do like I have a really good recipe using apricot jam and a light soy sauce with drumsticks. Yeah, and they taste, so I like sometimes, and I have a couple of pomegranate chicken recipes too. I'm not an orange chicken recipe, like that's just not my dad loves it, but it's just that orange with the zest. I don't know, in chicken doesn't do it for me. Though I have been obsessed with grapefruit during this pandemic. I don't know why. I just want grapefruit.
That's cool because it lasts for a long time in the fridge. So that seems like a very good fruit to be obsessed with. So you say, okay, I have this chicken, whether it's rotisserie. Oh, by the way, in your rotisserie cookbook, can I swap out, like say I don't have a rotisserie chicken, but I have regular chicken. Do you encourage people to do that swap or not really?
No, not in this one. This was really 100% rotisserie. You absolutely can. I mean, I make meatballs with it and put it in the blender, or a meatloaf.
What?
Yeah, like I really get creative with that rotisserie. So it's not like you're pulling it and dipping it. Like they're really some fabulous, like we really had a great time with these recipes.
That is can I just do one of these? I mean, that is mind blowing to think you can turn rotisserie chicken into a meatball.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you're not handling the raw meat if that's not what you like. So.
That's ridiculous. I cannot wait for this. But I do like that you have some sample recipes on your website. I think that's good.
Yes.
Okay, so the big thing for us though is saying your method for searching a recipe. So I have chicken around. I'm gonna make something and reuse it as either a pizza or a quesadilla per your recommendation. But for that first recipe, like how do you do it? But like I do it where it's like, what do I feel like eating? It's like, oh, I feel like eating Mexican, so I'll do Mexican chicken recipes, and I just look at the pictures that come up. That's like my method. Do you have a method?
Honestly, I'm like crazy for grilled chicken. So a lot of times I'll do different types of like grilled chicken. I love kebabs. So I'll do like,
Maybe, okay, shoot. Dude, we have too many. I knew this was going to happen with you. I can't, it's not going to be one idea. It has to be one.
No, there's so many ideas. I know.
But wait, this kebab thing is interesting because here's what I'm trying to be sensitive to, right? Is like, people don't have a million things in their pantry, but kebabs can be like pretty much anything, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, did you want? I'm waiting for you to ask me to see my pantry because I
got distracted.
But it's
with
crazy.
Show me.
Okay.
Show me. I get
it's
distracted.
Crazy. Yeah, you need to get distracted because kebab. You know what else I like to put on kebabs? Like you don't need necessarily chicken. You could do. I'm developing something with tofu. People don't realize it.
Can I ask you a question about kebabs? Do you really use a kebab stick?
I do.
Oh, look at how pretty your pantry is.
Hold on.
I try not to judge, but it's very nice.
Well, baked goods are up there. So I have all baked breakfast. Okay. And if it's a sample I like, I'll keep in here. Then we go to our pastas.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm hoarding that. And then here are all my like nuts, seeds, coconuts. I have raisins. I love dates. And then I have my baking stuff. And then for my diabetes cookbooks, I use a couple of sweeteners. Okay. Oh, here's flowers. Let me see. And then a lot of canned goods.
And do you, because you're cooking, you're recipe testing for 2 books, this is more robust and full.
Oh yeah. I don't usually have. And then like I'm using a lot of peanut butter and maple syrup in desserts, and then canned. I have cans. I've actually been using them. Ooh, light went out. Like I've been using canned tuna and canned chicken. Actually, I have the best recipe with canned chicken that I use in pasta, frozen vegetables, and tomato sauce. My kids devoured.
Okay, well, should that be our assignment? Toby, we need one assignment from you. Should that be it?
That is like the simplest. I think, hold on, let me turn around. I think if you can, the assignment should be to make a dish using leftovers in the fridge.
Okay, fine. So this is what we say. It's like, it's not just plain chicken you have that is your curse. It is the fact that nobody wants to waste anything right now. Right. And you have these remnants of just random meals around. So it's like, what do you do? And so the assignment is make a quesadilla or a pizza, because everybody has these remnants of meals passed around. And it's a way to, what did you call it? Repurpose.
Creatively reusing.
Creatively reusing. I like it. I think that's a good assignment, because I was getting like, oh my God, maybe she needs to teach me a chicken dip, because you started talking about dips. I'm like, oh my God. And then you were like kebabs. And then you were talking about like canned chicken pasta dish that everybody loves. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. But I think if your final assignment to us as a guru of having a lot of recipes, being a recipe tester, you must have a lot of recipes left over.
I do. Yeah. I do. And my kids have certain favorites. And in my first cookbook, my son is extremely picky eater. He's turning 18 now, and he's in college, but he still will only drink the same smoothie with the same proportion of ingredients. So I put it in my first cookbook, and I'm going to give it to him to go to college to be like, you make it on your own now.
I love that.
That picky.
Hey, I appreciate when recipe testers have picky people who are their testers of taste, you know, because then we all benefit from their pickiness, right? It's like, it's got to be really good if it winds up in a cookbook here, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for that assignment. Do you feel like you have any other words of wisdom during the global pandemic that you would like to give to us other than quesadillas and pizza? I think that's a great one. Any other words of wisdom?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I just wanted to certainly and get your take on is don't leave out like canned and frozen produce, absolutely, but don't forget about that fresh. If you look at the supermarkets, they're brimming with fresh. Oh, I love that. I need one.
You just got a disco ball for that. It's exactly right. Hey, Toby, it's exactly right. That's exactly what Chris, when he goes to the grocery store, he's been going for us. And this is the same thing. It's like the frozen is gone, canned stuff is gone, everything's gone. But what's there is fresh, so don't forget about it.
And the way you wash it, per the CDC, per the FDA, and there's numerous articles I've been writing on food safety, just water. You do not want bleach. You do not want soap. You actually, even from soap residue, their gastrointestinal distress, including like the minimum is a tummy ache. So you do want to buy your produce and just wash it in water. It is not a foodborne illness, this COVID thing. So
yes, I've seen your articles. I actually posted one because it was so well written, babe. It was so great. And I was like, you know what? Everyone needs to rehear this. You know, it's like over and over and over, like reposting that. I should probably repost your article again.
I have more that just came out. I actually just spoke to the National Restaurant Association and to IFIC about, in Food Network, it's an article there about eating out and the guidelines. What are restaurants doing to make the food safe for you? So it was really nice article that came out. And I did another article with Food Network in terms of, you know how you just take like your sponge and wash off your counter? That's not enough. Like, how do you actually, it's the USDA's 2-step like cleaning and sanitizing approach, which I've been teaching about for years, but just breaking that down for the consumer of how to keep your kitchen clean.
I love that. And are you going to be posting, we got some love, the Pantry Party love. Thanks.
Yay!
Are you going to be posting, because everybody's asking me about restaurant safety, restaurant meals, and like you said, you know, the whole concept of how they're keeping food safe for you. You posting those on your Instagram?
Sure. I'll post it. They just came out yesterday. They were released. So slowly
that's how I learn everything, Toby, is I look at your Instagram and then I'll reshare it or whatever.
They're always on any of my pages. I try to put all my new articles on like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever, like a little bit, you know, everywhere. So people can get that information.
Well, girl, thank you for your inspiration. I knew this was going to be a hot episode.
I
If
should have
people
worn the
want
same
more,
shirt there, huh?
oh yeah, please.
I didn't know it was a sexy party.
Yeah, hello, yes. Here's what I need to make sure everybody knows. If they need more Toby in their life, where is the best place to get all of your genius, girl?
So you can go to my website, tobyamadornutrition.com, or follow me on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you are, I'm there. So you can, it's always Toby Amador, yep.
Thank you, Toby, for spending your time with us and the Pantry Party Show.
Yay!
You're magic, and I can't wait to read all of your new books coming out.
Yay!
All right. Bye, girl. Have a great day.
Okay,
High
bye.
immunity vibes. Bye. Hey, that was another fabulous episode of the Pantry Party Show. And wasn't that fantastic? That, and again, if you want to spell her name, I actually wrote it out. Oh, it's backwards, though, when I do it. So it's Toby, Toby, and Amador is Amidor, right? And so that's at her name is her handle on Instagram. And then throw the word nutrition on there.com is her website. I think all of her books are just so smart, right? And you heard her say super easy. So I encourage you to check her out. And we got an assignment from her today on the Pantry Party Show. And that's use your leftovers creatively by going the quesadilla route. And we really talked back and forth about how to do that. Or going the pizza route. So for both of those, I feel like, a nice tortilla would be great. So thank you so much, Toby. You did such a great job on the Pantry Party Show, inspiring us. And we will be back tomorrow with another guest on the Pantry Party Show, teaching you how to use creatively what you already have on hand in the kitchen. And until next time, sending you high immunity vibes, big love, and lots